And with the job market being as tight as it is, are tattoos or hot pink hair still taboo in the workplace? Joining me to talk about this is best-selling author, speaker, and corporate executive Victoria Pelletier. Victoria, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
I was always told, you want to dress for success and make a good impression on the public when you're out there, especially if you're in a front-facing job. This is no longer the case?
I think it's drastically changed. More and more consumers are looking to buy from companies that align to their values, and one of those happens to be around diversity and inclusion, and therefore they want the people that they're engaging with to represent diverse, inclusive cultures and communities that they work and live in.
Now, of course, I imagine this depends on the public that's using the service, because I would agree with you that would be the case if you were working at, like, say, a CBD store. But if you're, say, a stockbroker, are you saying that these people, maybe like your person handling your retirement stuff, you would be okay if you walked in and there was somebody sitting there with pink hair and, them looking like they just fell into a tackle box?
I think it might give many people a moment of pause to kind of sit and reflect. There's some bias that's going to be built in there, and depending on generation or cultures that people have come from, it's going to likely go one of a couple of ways. They're either going to say, okay, this person is too far out there. They're going to equate pink hair, piercings, and tattoos with a lack of quality, delivery, and experience, and therefore potentially be afraid to work with them. Or they're going to say, hey, this person's incredibly creative and innovative and is going to find new ways and better ways to get things done for me. So it could go very different ways, again, based upon people's biases and their lived experience and culture.
And of course, there are a lot of people, and I think the majority of people these days have tattoos. I don't, but I know a lot of people who do. But for the most part, they get them in places where they can be covered up with a long sleeve shirt or on their ankle, somewhere like that. A face tattoo is a little bit more difficult to hide.
100%. I have two children, 18 and 22, who both have decided at age 18 and 19, respectively, to get their tattoos. And the first thing I said is, be mindful of where you put it on your body and that it's going to be something you want there for a very long time. You're right, however, face tattoos clearly can't be hidden although there's some amazing makeup these days. And so I think it's around the environment that they're going to be working in, and then it's incumbent upon the employers to be clear around the dress code. And in this case, it could, that could be piercings and tattoos, et cetera, in terms of whether those are shown or not.
Victoria, there's laws that say that you can't discriminate against somebody on the basis of employment for things like sexual orientation or race or age or any of those things. But there are not really any laws regarding your dress or other things, even tattoos, which are permanent. They're not like something you can change at night. So are there any laws on the books that say you can't discriminate based on these sort of things?
Currently, no. All of the laws relate to gender, sexuality, race, religion, those things, nothing related to this. Although don't put it past one or more people to bring a lawsuit against an employer who decides to, take action as a result of that. So, I think that said, employers need to recognize with unemployment at record lows right now and trying to get good talent, period, where they might have been much less flexible with these things in the past, they're going to need to now to be more competitive and find talent with skills, whether that comes with a piercing or pink hair or not.
This is definitely a seller's market, no question about that. But at the same time, I have to say, if I'm going to go and have brain surgery, let's hope I don't, but if I do, I would be concerned if my brain surgeon walked in and he had a lot of tattoos and piercings and that kind of thing. I would really probably want to make sure, now, are you sure you've done this before? Because it looks like you just got back from some sort of like a music festival or something like that. Are you really a surgeon?
And I think that's a bias that many people could have, and that might be what, elicits, or comes to the front of your mind when you see someone like that. But the reality is there's people, and I'm going to say I fall in the camp of someone who does have tattoos, but I also had many of them removed because what I got at 22 certainly wasn't what I wanted when I got into my 30s and beyond. And so I think we need to recognize that there's people who are going to do it. That's an artistic form of expression. It can be a way to memorialize someone or something that really means something to someone another. So I think that's where we all need to be a little bit more expansive in opening our minds. But validate and check first always, particularly if you're going under the surgeon's knife.
I agree, Victoria, and that's the thing. To me, tattoos are great and all, but it's not even about the paint. It's about the fact that if I wear a really cool shirt on Saturday to a concert, I might not wear that same shirt on Monday. I can change the shirt. I can't, if I get something put on me, stenciled on me permanently, I can't change that, and it might be the name of a band that turns out they're not real popular in the next decade, you know?
That's right. That's why I think one of the greatest rising procedures cosmetically right now is tattoo removal.
Very true. Victoria Pelletier, thank you so much for joining me this morning on Alabama's Morning News.
Thanks for having me.